Okay, it's 5 after 7 on the 22nd of July. I'd like to call the Planning Commission meeting to order and thank SCTV and Karen, if you're up there, for taping. In Bob Kulikowski's absence, I think I'd like to ask, I don't think you were here last time, Greg. Will you serve?
I can serve
You serve as alternate?
Sure.
Thank you. Hiram, the point 3, discussion and possible action on CGS 8-24, open space.
Just by way of introduction, Mr. Chairman, this is, Commission may recall that some time ago, the planned area development application was approved for Dorset Crossing. There were a number of lots there. One of the lots that was approved was a lot for Specialty Housing LLC. That is the 48-unit building that was to be constructed for folks with primarily with MS and disabilities, but eight of the units were also to be reserved for local people with special needs. That was a commitment that the developer made at that time. That development is under construction at the present time, and during the process, and I'll let the applicant's representative present here in just a second. During that process, it was discovered that a portion of that property, discovered, but it was a portion of that property is in the floodplain. So I'd just like to let the applicant's representative explain to you what they have in mind with that. I've given you a copy of the narrative that they have given me, and a copy of the map of the parcel itself. So with that, I would just let the applicant's representative make a presentation to you, a brief presentation, and then feel free to ask any questions you may want. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening. My name, for the record, is Stephen Studer. I'm an attorney with Bircham, Moses, and Devlin. We represent the applicant, Specialty Housing, and I'm happy to be here before you this evening. I'd hope, frankly, to say nothing, and I certainly will keep my remarks very short because I know it's hopefully a short meeting on this nice summer evening. But as Hiram said, this is land that's not necessary for the development of the property. It's approximately 1/3 of an acre. It's directly adjacent to additional open space that's already owned by the town, and we thought it would be an appropriate augmentation of that open space. It's not something we need, and as by giving the property to the town, not only do we benefit the town, but there is a benefit to the development as well, and that is that we would not have a flood zone on our property, because other than that, even though the building and all the improvements are totally outside the flood zone, we would need to get flood insurance. So it's kind of like a win-win situation, and we're hoping the town will agree to the benefit. Thank you.
Questions?
Seems straightforward enough to me.
Just curiosity, your narrative says that the property formally lies in a flood zone.
I think it probably should say formally.
Or, formally meaning
As in
in a
formal as
formal
opposed to
fashion,
informal.
not previously.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a,
Officially.
I see.
yes.
I have a couple questions. Is there any maintenance of this property at all? Anything that needs to be maintained?
No.
Cut down? No. Is there any liability that falls to the town by taking this? Of any significant?
I'll answer no.
Okay. So if somebody got in there and got hurt, it's just unlikely.
Well, it's no different than all the other open space that you own in town.
So the risk is it's just a...
Correct.
Do you have an idea of the loss of tax revenues the town will incur if this goes through?
I don't, but I would suspect it's relatively modest because the real value is in the improvements and the use of the development. So I wouldn't think that this is excess land, so to speak. I wouldn't think it'd be too significant.
Does removing this cause any changes to the setbacks or anything else that was already
No, it does
planned?
not. Everything is still fully compliant, and Mr. Hiram can, or Mr. Peck, rather, excuse me, can verify that.
This causes no changes to the plan. building is not moving. It's already started, actually under construction, so it's not moving.
No population density issues with the reduction in the plot size?
No. Because this property was not scheduled to be used for any part of the construction before, Bill, and it currently would not be either, so it's not going to be encroached upon by any other development.
Would flood insurance only be required if this parcel was developed?
Yes, it's only if you have a structure on it. So the
Okay.
town, for example, won't.
Won't have to have flood
No.
insurance?
And a good portion of your already existing open space out there is in the floodplain itself, already.
Any comments or questions? Since it's in the floodplain, is this a slam dunk? Never, pun intended, never mind. Dunk, forget it. My hearing aids are going crazy. All right, I guess we need a motion?
This is a referral to the Board of Selectmen?
This is,
Yep.
probably should have explained that before. The Board of Selectmen referred it to the Planning Commission for your recommendation back to them. Once they get that, what the town attorney has indicated is that it needs to go back to the zoning commission to actually show, to revise the PAD for that lot line. It's not just simple lot line revision, because it was a PAD, that lot was shown in a particular configuration. So to change that configuration, it'll go back to them. Then the Board of Selectmen will probably make their final decision after that. But it'll go, your recommendation, whatever it is, will go back to the Board of Selectmen at their next meeting or the meeting after.
And to do that, we need a formal motion?
Correct.
Okay. Anyone like to make a motion?
No, somebody else carry the load.
All right. I move that we give a positive referral to the Board of Selectmen. Have a second?
Second.
Okay, you did jump in. Okay. Any comments?
Yeah, I just have one comment. I think that, the plan of conservation and development is very clear on the town trying to acquire and preserve open space. So certainly this is compliant with that aspect of the POCD.
Good. Any other comments? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. You got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, have a good evening.
Okay, Hiram, any communication?
I don't have anything else other than to tell you that, as you all know, probably all know, the zoning commission approved the form-based code for the Hartford property 2 meetings ago now. They did the final, there were 2 revisions to it. One had to do with making sure that the northern parcel is developed in not strictly residential, but 2 different types of uses. The second thing that they insisted on was that the commission retain the right to call a public hearing on any of the applications. As you may recall, the applications are broken up into a type 1, 2, 3, and 4. Type 1 is simply somebody moving into the building, putting up a new sign, and they felt for some reason that if they felt it was necessary, they would put that into a public hearing. Not sure exactly why, but types 2 and 3 were a little bit different in that somebody came in with a development of a building and they wanted to take it to a public hearing. They could do that based upon that change to the regulation. Type 4 is already going to go to public hearing because it was the most significant change from the adopted plan, whatever that was. Somebody came in with a plan that did not comply with the graphics that were supplied with the regulation itself. That would automatically become a type 4 application and will go to public hearing. So basically, they retain the right to take anything to a public hearing if they wanted to, and they dictated that the northern parcel currently vacant would be at least 2 different things, whether it's residential, commercial, or some other combination of those 2 things. So those were the only 2 changes. They approved that last night. The regulation will become effective on August 1, and we're just waiting for folks to come forward now and say, yeah, we're interested in moving forward on that piece. So that's the biggest thing that I'm aware of that's really relatively happened.
Hiram, any word on how the ruling went for that gas station PAD?
The hearing is left open. No, I'm sorry, the hearing closed, but the commission did not make a decision. There was a lot of new information that was presented to them last night, and I think almost to the individual, every single person said, we're not ready to make a decision last night. And so they wanted to consider it between now and their next meeting, at which time I expect they'll make a decision. They have 65 days from the date of the close of the public hearing to make a decision, which will bring them probably to the end of September, I think just about that, so.
Do they also have the month of August off?
Correct.
So,
Whether they have any special meetings or not, they don't have anything scheduled at the present time. In the
so no
past,
decision will be made until September?
that's unless they call a special meeting for that purpose. That's my understanding, yeah.
Okay.
They said last night that they'd like it on their agenda for the 15th of September. That's when it is. I suspect that's when they'll discuss it. So.
Anything else? Okay, I guess we're down to minutes.
Let's do the minutes for July 8th, 2014. Any comments, deletions, or additions to page 1? Hearing none, any on page 2? Page 3? Page 4? Hearing none. Hear a motion on approving the minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Second? Second. We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the minutes for July 8th, 2014?
Aye.
Aye. Any negatives? Good. Minutes pass.
Home run for Janice.
I did want to forget to mention, I did submit the grant, the Vibrant Community Initiative grant to the Connecticut Trust for Historic Preservation. That has to do with finishing up creation of the form-based WETOG area. We've got a tremendous amount of preliminary information that was done, and if we're able to get this grant to finish that up, that would bring it right into focus, and people would have a really good idea, very similar to the town center, as to what that would look like in the future going forward as well. So if you get that grant, I should know in the next month or two, and that would have to be done within 9 months max. So it's a very quick process, and we hope that we get it. We think we submitted a good application, we'll just have to see if we are lucky enough to get it.
Aaron, how did the meeting before us, Economic Development Task Force, how's that going?
That's divided up into 3 different groups, and Sarah Nielsen is one of the staffers, myself, and then Nancy Hasse is the other person that's sort of rotating between the groups. One of the groups has to do with process, that is land use application processing. One of the other groups is marketing, and the third group is programs. So there are different programs, processes, and marketing applications that are all talking about different things. So they've been divided up into those 3 groups, and to try to come up with some recommendations and suggestions back to and through the Economic Development Commission, and then ultimately to the Board of Selectmen to find out whether there's any ways to sort of kickstart the economic development activity in the town. So the activities being discussed are things like town website, whether that can be more sort of invigorated, made more lively, more interesting for people to look at. Some of the processing, how applications are processed, is there anything we can do to make that more attractive to proper economic development? And then the marketing people, I don't know about that group, I haven't sat in on that one yet, but they're talking about things like how do we get the information that we've generated in the programs, how do we get that out to developers as well, let them know what's going on. So those are the 3 basic parts. The next meeting is mid-August, I think August 19th, I think is what Nancy just said. There's a monthly meeting from now through the end of the year, and at which time, probably in October or November, they'll bring the recommendations to the Board of Selectmen for comments and suggestions and hopefully recommendations as to what they'll do with it. So, a lot of discussions, a lot of activity. There's a lot of people that have either marketing or development or process experience. Some attorneys, some designers, broad variety of expertise in the group, and they're all welcome to come. Meetings are open to the public as well, so feel free to come. That's basically that's where it is right now.
Do we have meetings in August? No.
We haven't decided that yet.
No, we did.
You weren't here. We decided a
First-
long time ago,
first
you weren't
meeting.
here.
As a commission, would you like to meet in September?
Would we like to meet in
In
September?
September?
Yeah.
I'm sure
Okay.
we could probably
should
fit that
then.
in.
Okay.
Unless Hiram has someone come in with the fourth way to do the Hartford property, and that would be a special meeting, and we'd all
Yeah.
run right in here to do that. But unless Hiram informs us of an emergency, we will say we'll meet come September, okay?
Okay.
Shall we have a vote on that?
Kevin, do you have anything to say?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Everybody have a good month off.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
Same with me.
Have fun in Spain, you bum.
I will.